Hello. Hang on. Are we there? I think we're here. I think you guys can hear me. We should be all good right now. Can everyone hear me okay? And can everyone hear Naomi, who is here on camera as well?
Welcome, welcome.
How is everybody doing today?
Tell me what the levels are like.
The levels. Yeah. Right. Okay, hang on a sec. I need to make sure that I'm not echoing. Is there a huge echo, anyone? I can hear you. There's a bit of delay on the stream as well, but it's nice to see everyone here on the chat today. Again, we're going to be doing something a bit different, but we've done it before. We did it last time I live streamed, which was all about, hang on, let me move this, portfolio design in Adobe XD. I'm just going to move my mixer a bit further forward to ensure that I can control everything that's going on. Naomi's here. She's going to be taking your questions so I don't have to freak out.
It's going to be a good stream. I'm looking forward to it. We've already got a member, which is...
oh, yeah, no way. Who's this?
Rania, I believe.
Rania? Thank you so much for becoming a member. If you guys don't know, if you become a member, then you get certain perks like being able to join the Discord. If you go to Discord now, you'll have a role in there automatically placed for you where we chat. I'm going to be doing another chat in a couple of days' time, which I'm going to be organizing. David Pruitt, oh my goodness, thank you for the $20 donation. Super chat, thank you very much.
Amazing.
All of that goes back into me making more stuff. David Pruitt, you are a legend. Let me know if the stream's working well. Everything good? No echo. Sounds good. Today, again, we're going to be working on this bad boy over here. So if you don't remember, we basically started this, which is a fake portfolio of mine. I might make it into something real, but I've got a few things that I want to do today. So we're going to be looking into Adobe Dimension, which is a place where we can create 3D mock-ups of certain works that I've done. We're going to be looking to see if we can add anything from Dimension inside of there as well. Naomi is going to be taking your questions, but I can sort of see the chat here as well. Naomi has got a question. What does that say? What does it say?
I can see on my screen.
I can't see what you're saying because your phone is so small from 10 feet away.
Sorry, just hitting the mic there. It's just your landing page.
Right. I don't know. It must be the wrong one.
Can you guys see? Oh, maybe I have clicked on the wrong one.
You've clicked on the wrong video. Bring everyone over to this video here. So,
Here we are.
okay, there you go. Right, Naomi's having a few technical difficulties near the mic, but I think we're ready to go. Naomi will be answering all of your questions. It's so hard to do with just like basically me doing all the tech stuff. So thanks for bearing with us. Catching the stream for the first time. Happy to be here. Jessen, thank you. Naomi is back. She's here on the chat.
I'm here. I found the right one.
You're awesome. Well, thank you for your valuable videos. Thank you. Well, I hope today is just as valuable for you as well. I'm going to be doing some cool stuff. I've actually made a few things in here since the last video just to give myself some more inspiration. But Naomi basically is going to be answering, well, giving me the questions whilst I'm designing, so I don't have to keep looking at the chat. So feel free to ask any question that you want. Feel free to share and subscribe to the channel if you want to as well, and we'll get cracking right into it. So first of all, you see this lettering here. This is going to be one of my projects, but I was thinking if we went into, let me just come out of Illustrator. I want to go into Adobe Dimension, and I'm on a new Mac software right now, Big Sur. Let's create a new one. We're going to do some 3D modeling. And the reason why is because we see a lot of places inside of portfolios that use 3D objects to create a cool looking sequence. So I'm hopefully going to basically show you how to do that today through this. I'm hoping anyway. So first of all, let's go down to the models. Bring out a banana. There's a few things we can do. So we can rotate around. So yeah, I'm going to create like a 3D illustration to put into the website as well. So this will take a few minutes to do, but I'm going to be using all the default things inside of Adobe Dimension. Now you can see what I'm seeing because everything is going crazy. Cool. So first of all, fine, I'm going to find a color for this actually. Let's make it matte for the material. And we can change the color to like a yellow. Just from over here. Right. Let's do some quick rendering. Hopefully it'll render quite quickly. The thing now I need to work out is how to place it. So basically Adobe Dimension, for anyone who doesn't know, is a place where you can create 3D mockups and assets. It's not really like Blender, but it's sort of, it works similarly to Blender, as in you can render out 3D scenes, but they look amazing and it's super easy to use. I'm not really a Blender type of guy, so using this makes it easier. But today, if anyone's wondering, I'm not actually creating a website. I'm creating the visuals of a website, to which then we can give to a developer later. And if you are enjoying the stream, please share it around, friends and family, all of that. So I think we can create something with this. Get rid of this render preview. Any questions popping up, Naomi?
Not yet. I'm just trying to bring people from who are on the other stream.
How many are there?
Onto this stream. There's like 35 people waiting for you to start your other stream.
Right.
I told them, so hopefully they should be heading over.
We've got mods.
There we go. Doctor Who's sent the link in the chat.
Oh dear. What have I done? I'll tell you the reason why that actually happened. I've got this switcher board that takes the key. I copied and pasted it in, but obviously it didn't register the copy and paste for the right stream. So I do apologize.
It's okay. Doctor Who, bless him, he's put the link in there. There they are. There's Leo. Yeah, they've found it.
Sorry, guys. I think it's all the, it's the members in the Discord as well because of that link that went up, I think.
Yeah, they're here.
Yeah, sorry, guys. Okay. So again, like last time, portfolio stuff. This is portfolio stuff if you don't understand already. I'm going to be creating some weird objects, I hope. I hope anyway, if we can. Creating something a bit abstract, a bit out there. I don't particularly want that. I want that to sort of intersect. I'm just messing around just now. I'm eyeballing this. So 3D objects can really help people, especially if you are someone who's just 3D, you should have it in your portfolio. But for me, I'm not really a 3D guy, but I want to show my skills as a 3D person if I did have any.
So we've got a question from Yusuf who says, excuse me, so we can't use XD to make a website from scratch like we used to do with Muse?
No. So what XD is, so here it's kind of like PowerPoint or Keynote. But the thing about it is it's for designers like me who don't code but do visual design on this computer. I can mock it up. I can prototype it. So when we scroll in and out and go to our works here, it acts like a website here for the prototype. You can make it clickable in different areas, so you can go to different places. You can go back. You can you can create apps on here as well, but they're just prototypes. What then happens is you can go to this thing called share over here. You can mark all of these assets as downloadable, and you would send all of this to the client or the developer, who will have the code to do what you wanted it to do and have all the assets ready to download. So everything will be inside of here for the developer, because the developer is not necessarily a designer. They just know how to get the job done in coding. But when it comes to design, there's a lot of designers who just design. So that's like user experience design. You're designing the experience. Then you've got the developer who will develop it into a real thing, if that makes sense. And this is like, if you don't know what XD does, these are the wires. So this is how we link pages together. And there's no bounds really with XD. So what I'm doing now, to give context to the people who've just come in, is Adobe Dimension 3D software. I'm going to create some 3D like cool looking assets, and we're going to put them into XD to make it look like a cool website. If that makes sense.
He says, that makes sense. Thanks.
Yeah, no problem.
So spot on.
Hey, that's nice to hear that makes sense. A lot of people would just ignore me afterwards and I'll be left wondering if I did the right thing. So here I'm just dropping off materials on here. So let me just like preview this. So we can always preview this really quickly and easily. There we go. So this is going to like be water. It looks really realistic. And this is all the default shapes. So if you were to ever go into Dimension, you can get all these default shapes from the start. Let's make that bigger there. Might get rid of Clean My Mac for a sec. I don't think we need Clean My Mac right now. Okay, so this is like doing a really weird render. So it's looking a bit strange and probably very noisy on your screen. So what I will do is I think I'll use the eyedropper tool and just use that color. But we could go for like an opposite spectrum color. Oh, I don't want to do that. I want to unlink it.
So we've got a question here. I'm really sorry if I'm saying your names wrong. I'll just do a blanket apology at the start, but you guys have some very interesting names. Wooter asks, where do you put your screen for animations like the heart icon animation on my work animation? I normally have tens of animation screens laying around and it gets cluttered.
So on here, okay, I see what you're saying. So the way you're doing this is if you have the heart animation, you have a different screen for that. So the way that I've done this differently is in component states. So if I go down to the heart animation here so you can see it. So this is not actually animating to a different screen. Let me just go back into the design bit here. If I click on the heart, you'll see it's a component. And if I go up here to the main component, in fact, I don't think that will work. But up here, you can see the default state is like it being outlined. And when you clicked it, I've created a state inside of the component to animate it, like do an auto animation to fill. So these two states are like this, and you can click between them. You can do hover states, you can do click states. So these really allow you to create buttons and animations that you wouldn't be able to do before without having to have screens all over the place. If you go back to my last live stream, I talk a bit more about that. So I hope that helps. Let me know if the music is too loud as well. I know people are sensitive to music.
So Neil says that he develops websites as well as designing them. And his question is, do you ever consider how things are going to be developed while you're designing?
Yes. I think so. Repeat that question so I can make sure I can answer it correctly.
He designs websites develops websites, as well as designing them. And I'll read you the full question. And sometimes he finds it restricts the creativity because you know what code is involved to get certain things to work how they're supposed to. So his question is, do you ever consider how things are going to be developed when you're designing?
No. Okay, so no, I don't. So the reason why is because if I'm designing something, I'm not going to let a developer's struggle ruin my design. So normally when we do brand design, so when we're designing for a brand, that could be like a full brand identity. We'll design the logo. They may need a presentation for an investment pitch. They also probably will need a website mocking up. And the best person to design the website is obviously someone who is working with the brand. So what I generally do is when I'm creating the animations or the way that the website is, it will obviously be minimal enough for an experienced developer to know how to code it. And if he doesn't know how to code that, then there's an issue with the developer not knowing his job. So I would just tell the client to move on to a different developer. But generally what we would do is, obviously I don't know a developer right now. We don't actually tell any client to go to a developer. They have the website and they either have someone they know develop the website, But if we were to do this, I would make sure the developer knows what he's doing so it doesn't stifle my creativity in the design. I hope that answers your question.
So basically, you do what you want, even if it makes small work for somebody else, but they should be able to cope with it because that's the job.
Yes, because that's the idea of the job, yeah. So, I mean, you don't have to go above and beyond, you know. You don't want to go too crazy with it. If doesn't know what I'm doing now, I'm using a hex code to change the color.
Oh, we've had a super chat from Gary. Thank you.
Cheers, Gary. Legend.
Gaz Gaming.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you. I'm just changing.
That's very nice. We like to watch Gary on the evenings, don't we?
Yeah, he plays Warfare. No, Call of Duty Warzone, Warfare. We play sometimes together as well.
Shooty, gun.
Yeah, as you say, shooty, gun. So if anyone doesn't know what I'm doing a soft render now. It'll look a bit strange because I'm selected on it. Dimension isn't really meant for this, but it's great to have. It just works well.
It's Adobe XD you're using, isn't it?
No, this is Adobe Dimension right now that I'm using. So a Dimension is about the 3D assets. But I am taking what I'm doing here and bringing it into Adobe XD. So I hope that makes sense. I'm just struggling with this thing in the background. I don't like that color. So I'm just going to get rid of that. So I'm going to lock these colors. This is a great way of creating colors. It's called Cooler. So when I find a color I like, I take the hex code and I just play around with this color a little bit and put the hex code. I was thinking of making the actual background blue as well. Let's see how that looks. Then we'll change the lighting for it to be a 3-point lighting setup. And once we've done that, we can take this image and put it into Adobe XD once we've rendered it out correctly. And it should look pretty good. So Irefron Star says, might try it later. Thanks though. Cool. It's good to see so many people on here. And if you are enjoying it, please remember to subscribe. It does help me when you do subscribe.
Definitely. And I think the next live stream is the iPad giveaway, isn't it? So you want to be subscribed so you know when the iPad's getting given away.
That's it. Yeah, I should have put that in the title, but I think people might get a bit annoyed.
No, because we're not doing it today. But the next live stream will be. So put your bell on and all the rest of it, whatever it's called.
The notification bell, yeah.
Bell, and then you want to be here for the next live stream because that's when we will find out who's winning the iPad, which is exciting.
I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, it should be fun. The iPad Air, I'll bring it out.
Dun, 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 dun.
It is here. It'll be packaged back up for you. I have not used it. It's just been sat in my office on the background since I had it.
Well, you did fangirl over it for a little bit.
I did play with it, yeah. But it'll be packaged and sent to anyone in the world. The video, I'm sure one of the mods will put the video in the chat of where you can sign up. It's not me who chooses the winner either. It's a completely randomly generated system.
It's going to be exciting to find out who's getting an iPad for Christmas.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
I might take part. I'll have it.
You'll have it.
I'm joking.
I bet you would.
I've got an iPad. I don't need it. Somebody else will need it.
We're going to put a 3-point lighting scene on here.
Yes, you can still enter the giveaway. So the video is called... Can you find the name of the video? It's on the channel.
Just the iPad Air review, I think.
iPad Air review. It's from like last week, I think.
No, from a couple of weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. Oh, thank you. Dr. Who's put it in the chat. Go and check it out. Fill it out. And you might win an iPad.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with trying to win an iPad Air. It works with the Apple Pencil. So like, whilst this is rendering out, it works with the Apple Pencil too. It works across all apps, which is great. And it doesn't feel like anything less than a Pro. There is a few things. It doesn't have the 120 hertz display. There you go. And yeah, basically it's just like a light Pro. It's a bit smaller, thicker bezels, all the good stuff. But it's great for anyone who wants to like try out the iPad. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to save this view here. I'm going to start messing around now. Actually, I don't know if I like that like wiggly thing that's going on. I'm going to get rid of it. I'm going to get rid of it. I'm going to use some water splatters. I don't want this to be...
The iPad can ship to Japan. We can ship the iPad anywhere in the world, and will not pick the winner. I have been writing this so many times in replies to comments. Anyone can take part. Anybody at all, wherever you are. You won't have to pay for shipping. We will send it to you. You'll sign for it when it arrives at your house. And
yeah, anywhere in the world.
Just no strings attached at all. Anybody can take part. Just make sure you do what it says, subscribe, and join in. That's all you have to do. Oh,
anyway.
David's off skis.
Oh, David, thank you. Good to see you, man. Thank you so much for the super chat as well. You're a legend. Super nice guy. I love David. Such an awesome guy. Okay, I'm going to see what it's like with a bit of gold in here as well. Okay, it's probably going to look really odd, but I've taken out that thing. I just want something circling it. And I don't want to spend too much time on this, but I want to get it right. So I'm not fully rendering it out. I'm just making sure it looks kind of all right. This might take a second because water is kind of hard to do. Banana holy water. That's right, Leo. It's the holy water for the banana. But I think the thing that we need to do actually is this background needs to be yellow. But I need something green in there. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. Please, what is the name of the Coolers website? It is Coolers. Just simply, I think it's 3 O's. Just type in 3 Coolers with 3 O's. And it'll bring it up. It's free to use. There's like extensions that you can get for it to go into, what's it called? To Illustrator and stuff. Yellow holy water banana. The neon wolf. Everyone's just saying banana. I think
all I'm seeing is holy water, banana.
I don't like the scene composition.
You guys are funny. I do enjoy these streams. They make me laugh. That was something we learnt last time. So one of the running jokes from last time was from Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared, where it goes, green is not a creative colour. And guess what, guys?
Oh, you're ruining my videos now.
Oh, sorry.
It's all right.
Green is a creative colour.
Yeah.
Subscribe to find out more.
Yeah, green is a creative colour. The results of this scientific test will shock you.
I won't say anymore. I didn't know.
It's all right. I can explain a little bit because these guys will watch my video anyway. Basically, the colour green, whilst this is rendering out a bit, they did a scientific experiment where they showed people like colours before they did a creative task to see which one would have like more creativity in it. So they found that if you look at the color red or just briefly glance at it before this creative task, they were surprisingly so much less creative than those who were looking at the color blue or yellow. Now, when someone was looking at the color green, this little group, when they just briefly glanced at it before they were doing their creative project, they found that that group was like so much more creative than the other groups. So they found that the color green makes you more creative just by looking at it or glancing at it. So that's why I've always said I've had plants in my office to help me be more creative and whatnot.
Green is not a creative colour.
Yes. Okay, let me just work this out. So I want something else in the middle.
Here's a good question. I am an architecture student. I'm not sure about which tablet I should get. Wacom, Intuos Pro, or the iPad Pro? I mean, I would say iPad, but I don't know that much about architecture.
iPad Pro, yeah. I would always just go for an iPad Pro. It's going to save this one as well. Sorry, I'm just concentrating for a little second. Has everyone seen my latest video, the Fiverr one?
I have.
Yes. Thank you.
Laughing at Anxiety's comment just puts green.
of what I'm doing here is I'm taking the ground plane off, adding a matte to it, and then I'm going to get rid of the environmental light, and I'm going to play around with this. See how this looks. It might be quite dark. But some of you might understand what's going on, some might not, but it's cool. Don't worry, we're doing portfolio design, don't worry.
Neon Wolf says, hi, is it good to build a following before going on to sell stuff like on display or on other websites? So should you build a following before you start?
Well, I don't think you should build a following for that reason. I think you could build a following just from your work by putting it on display.
They kind of go hand in hand, don't they?
Yeah, I think they go hand in hand.
People won't know your work if you can't get out there online, but when it's out there online is when people start to see it and follow you.
Basically, yeah. Like, creating a following is a way of getting known in design, but also you can create a following in many different ways, whether that's through your work or just through teaching design. There's so many different ways.
Philbert says, I don't know how to pick good colours for app designs. Is there some sort of cool website where you can get palettes?
Yeah, there's a UI color. If you type in UI colors, there's like a website where you can get UI colors. Sorry, people can't see what I'm doing on the screen because I keep forgetting to switch. I do apologize, everyone. Everyone's having to remind me in the chat. I'm so sorry.
They're all still talking about bananas.
Well, it's because I'm still on a holy banana right now. It looks a lot brighter on your screen, guys, I think. Let me just check this. I think it's quite bright.
Oh, it's so funny.
I think I have to zoom in a bit.
Question.
I'm trying to find a good composition here for it to sit at.
Leo says, will please make the Discord server bot stop constantly spamming the server? He is a bit much, isn't he?
I'm sorry.
He's a good little robot.
I will. I need to give someone the permissions to change it. It's hard. I need to work that out. I need someone who can help me.
Maybe Leo. Maybe Leo will be up to the challenge of trying to tame the bot.
Yes. That would be good. If someone could help me with that, that would like help me so much. Even just doing Discords freak me out. So yeah, I'm gonna go and probably stick with this one for now, but it needs a lot of work. I wanted the color green in there as well. What if I've got an idea? What if this banana was green?
Oh, please no.
Why?
Well, green is not a creative colour and green bananas taste awful.
That joke's boring now.
Panda Gaming says, hello Will, I am new
That's
to UI
awful.
and UX design, learning on my own because of the pandemic. Any tips for me?
You're new and you want some tips. Just carry on watching. Keep practicing.
Courses online.
Yeah, there's so many courses. Check Skillshare. Loads of people on YouTube teach it. Just keep going. Be empathetic. Or empathic, is it?
Empathic, yeah.
Empathic towards people when doing it. So when you're creating something, try and create an app out of a real need or a prototype. That's always a fun way of doing it. And then you could create something cool and just keep playing around. Don't lose fun. Make it all quite fun for yourself.
Mm-hmm. So just in response to Anonymous, do you suggest amateur logo designers just practice and practice or try and find some clients? I think you need to strike the balance. So if you are just starting up, like no experience, you really need to try and learn your craft before you start charging people. Otherwise you get a bad reputation for doing bad design. So absolutely, there is nothing wrong with practicing and practicing until you feel like you're ready to be able to charge for the work that you do. But you know, similar with that, sort of know when the time is right to go live on selling your work as well. So
yeah,
both, I suppose, is the answer to that.
I would suggest so as well. I'm just trying to work out this banana.
You can just write the questions once as well. I will read them.
Let's have a look at this on a grey background. Oh, hang on. I want it on a grey background, so I'll turn this off. I want the ground plane to be the same. Grey or white, so I might have to make this white depending on the brightness of this.
Here's a good one. So, what is your opinion on the Spotify 2020 Wrapped design? So that's what we looked at this morning when we found our terrible taste in music delivered to us in a cute little presentation from Spotify.
Yeah, I think it was all right. I enjoyed it.
It wasn't groundbreaking, but I liked the sort of the multicolored kind of Instagrammy kind of style. You know, where it's like the merging colours. I don't know how to describe it.
Yeah, I liked it. It followed well, but it was wrong in a lot of cases for me. Mine was just Post Malone the whole time.
Pretty much.
Which isn't wrong.
My top song.
Okay, here we go. I like this.
My top song was will.i.am and Britney Spears. So judge me all you want. I don't even know why.
Okay, so we're going to be going in to answer anyone's questions. I'm going to be going into this now. So just put this to the desktop for now.
Let me know when you're ready because I've just had an influx of questions.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
2 secs then. Let me just work out the canvas. Okay, I'm ready. Go for it.
Okay. We'll speed run it. Regarding portfolio copy, how in depth should you explain each case study and what would the reader be interested in terms of what to actually put in?
That's a weird.
So how in depth should you explain each case study on your portfolio?
Right. It depends how much you want to talk about, really. If you really liked it, go really in depth if you think it's interesting. If it's not interesting, then you can just put up a few little things. Case studies have got to be good to read, so they're supposed to be like articles that really hook the viewer's attention to tell a story. So I'd make sure that you're getting that right.
Yeah.
Before you start doing a whole dissertation or something.
Cool. Is Big Sur all right? Does the whole Adobe suite work?
Yeah, I think Big Sur works fine on it. I've not had any crashes on my main computer yet. On Big Sur, it's just the normal. So many people have tested it and fixed it and stuff. So, all the bugs have gone out of it. And Adobe and Apple work very close together, don't they, on their software?
Yeah.
The golden banana, everyone. So this is just going to be a cool little piece for the portfolio. For anyone who doesn't know, the portfolio is here. For those who have popped in who are freaking out a bit. So we're going to be creating a new page for work. And I'm going to just shove this in. And you can see it's just rendering down here. So it's going to take its time to do this. So probably 2 minutes or something. And then it'll pop up when it's done. Any other questions? You had an influx.
I do. How is Adobe XD different or better than Figma in regards to app development?
Well, I've not used Figma. I've used Framer though. And Adobe XD is for me, it's just one thing that I use right now. It's like saying what's the difference between Illustrator and Affinity Designer, in regards to my logo design process. The only reason why I use Illustrator is because that's the one that I use. Simply. You can use anything to create anything. It doesn't matter what particular tool you use, if it does the same thing. So, for me, it works both ways. I can do both. I hope that helps.
Yeah. I would like to create an online portfolio and I'm divided between Wix and Squarespace. Which one should I go to?
Squarespace. Simply because I'm sponsored by them, but also because I use them. I've used them both, actually.
Years.
For years, yeah. I used, I think years and years ago, before I used Squarespace, I tried Wix. But I use Squarespace. It's better, it's more professional for me. And also the fact that I can have an online store in there and I can email my customers, they can create accounts. It's so easy. And you can customize the thousands of templates that they have. Or hundreds of templates. Let's see, the Royal Banana. The Royal Banana is what it's known as now. Any other questions, Jeremy?
No, I'll leave you alone for a minute.
Well, I've got nothing to do for a couple of minutes now.
Really?
Yeah, I've got to wait for this to render.
I'll just read some of the random ones then.
Yeah.
Golden banana is better than diamond banana.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Don't talk about Will's banana. Lol, that's a good one.
Lol.
I like that. That's funny. What is your opinion on beginners freelancing? Very open question from
Oh yeah,
John.
someone says, sorry, because I'm sponsored by it, that was a joke. But at the same time, I have been using Squarespace for years. So I know a lot of people hate YouTubers being sponsored by stuff. I don't think it's bad being sponsored at all.
We wouldn't be able to bring you free videos like this.
Yeah, you wouldn't get this for free, I'll tell you that. Or any videos. What was the last one, Naomi?
I'm just going to find it. It's a very open question from John. It's, what is your opinion of beginners freelancing? So I'm not really sure, like, people starting out.
Yeah, so let's assume that it is people starting out. That's what I did. But obviously beginners might not get clients. They're certainly not going to get serious clients in their life. They're going to mainly get people like family and friends, which is great. Unless it's for like a big project and they need something. Yeah, and it's dire, you definitely need it, then there's a problem. You should encourage them. Beginners freelancing is great because a lot of the times you don't need to go to school and college to learn design or anything really, unless it's like being a doctor or a space engineer. Those sort of avenues are different to design. Design is a fundamental rule system that can be tastefully broken when you know the rules and when you have experience. So, I didn't go to school and I started freelancing when I started, but I never got any clients until I basically had my portfolio set.
Everybody starts somewhere.
Yeah, sorry, you got to be close to that mic.
Sorry, it's just saying everybody starts somewhere. The best runners in the world, the best artists, everybody started somewhere. So you gotta give it a go, otherwise you'll never know.
That's right, yeah. You got to start somewhere. That's what I did, and it works. So whilst this is actually going ahead and rendering, I'm going to go create another screen. Let's create a 1080 screen.
I think there should be a dark mode for everything, Stephen. I love it.
My videos are all just dark mode, aside from obviously what I'm working in now.
Stephen's asked, do you think Adobe XD should have a dark mode? Because it burns his eyes, apparently.
Yeah. The one thing I want Adobe XD to have is dark mode. It is annoying because everything else is dark mode, but XD. And it doesn't seem to be hard to put it in.
I bet designers get a lot of headaches.
Yeah. They do. Well, nowadays they do. From clients, or the pressure of clients, not even just them. And the fact that you're staring at a computer all day. When is this banana finished? Is it finished?
Everybody wants me a little bit louder, por favor. Just a fraction. How's that?
Yeah, you
guys?
got to
I'm
be
nice and
closer to that
the
mic as
microphone.
well.
I'm uncomfortably close. I can't even see my screen. How's
Good.
that?
That's how you got to be. It's with these mics, you've got to be quite close. Okay, we've done it. So, hang on. Naomi's moving around.
Sorry.
It's all right.
Trying to get closer.
Let's save that to the desktop. And then we're going to bring this in. So now we've got this. This is it inside of my work. We can lock this. We can edit it as well in Photoshop later if we want to increase the brightness and the contrast and stuff. But it doesn't look too bad, right? That was created not very fast, but it wasn't slow at all.
Ooh, I really like this question.
Yeah, what is it?
We sort of get all the sort of samey kind of questions typically.
Yeah.
And I really like this one. It's from Flo. Are you always satisfied with your work? What a good question.
No, I think work is subjective. It depends. If I did work the clients the way that they want me to, then no. If I do it the way that I want to, that I know works best. I think it's most satisfying when it's most functional. So when it works the best. Design isn't about creating something aesthetically cool. That's just one part. Creating something for a reason, that's design. So it's solving a problem. We design tables to solve the problem of sitting at a desk. So we made a desk big enough to fit a computer on. So that's the problem that was solved. The design is impeccable. It's got 4 legs, works really well. And you can get tables that look really cool that do the same thing. I think if you have instead of a table, we had a cool looking mat that I put on my lap. It's not going to work as well. And it translates into graphic design as well, if that makes sense.
I think as well, the satisfaction changes as you develop. So a design that you might have done a year ago, which you were really happy with, you might look back, a year later and think, do you know what? I know much more about this now. And if I could do it again, I would do this and I would change that or swap this out. And I think, I really like that question. I think that's a really lovely question. Very interesting.
Good questions, dude.
Not just the normal stuff. I like this one too. From where you get your inspirations before designing? From where, Noosh?
From where? I get my inspirations from anywhere that I've been recently looking. For instance, with this one, I get it from looking at other people's portfolios. So I just type in portfolios, see what the best ones are doing that I like the look of. And then from there, I basically take here and there some of their ideas and I put my own little spin on it. And then that's basically how creativity works. No one likes to admit it, but nothing is original when it comes to designing. So generally I'll either have an idea of something I want to do, so I'll look into someone else to see if they had the same problem to solve. So for instance, with this, I want to create a page where I show some of my more artsy work. So for this here, this banana thing has nothing to do with anything that I do in design. So it's more of an artsy thing. So I could put some of my paintings in there or whatever. So I'll just look online and I'll just see what other people are doing. And then I'll put my own little spin on it.
So Panda says, if I make an app design or website design in XD, what type of files do I need to give to the client or the web/app developer?
So all you do is, if I was to select everything here, like Command A, I can press this button to the right called Mark for Export. Now when I go to share, I can have the view setting for development and then downloadable assets. Now when I update this link, so that's going to start uploading. It's going to probably ruin the live stream a little bit. But what's going to happen is it's going to upload all those assets to the cloud. So and I'll show you actually, we'll do it together. So wait for this to happen over here on the right. This is why it's super easy just to give it to them, because all they need is a link to get onto it. So this sharing capability means that you don't have to download and send it into, from apps like WeTransfer. You can just send this to them. So wait till this uploads and creates the link for me. We'll wait for it. Okay, and then if I click on here, it's going to take me to the website. Okay, and then if I go here, you can see on here is a prototype of it, and it's got all the assets down here, and you can basically click this and download it, any of the assets that I've marked for download. But then not only that, it shows me all of the character styles, the layout, grid, how I use the grid, any of the interactions, and these interactions, when you click on them, it shows you the CSS of that on the right, and it marks exactly where you are. So I can click on anything here and it will show the appearance. I can download as an SVG, PNG, PDF, anything in here at all. I can look at my whole piece of work. I can go to here, see this asset in the background. I can download the Portfolio Banana View 5 asset.
Can we speedrun questions again?
Yeah, well, did that answer the question there?
I think so.
Good.
But I've got a lot of questions.
That's fine by me.
Do you get tired of a design after working on it for hours?
Yes. It becomes very boring. I like to be working on a few different things. That's why I don't live stream a whole project, because I get really bored.
Lovely. Will, which books do you recommend for 2020 with regards to graphic design, UI, UX? Thanks, mate. From Sebastian.
Which books?
What books do you recommend for graphic design and UI and UX design?
Grid Systems is the only book that I would recommend.
Grid Systems is a good book. How to get started with UX and UI design?
How to get started?
In capitals, love it.
Just start. So like, just do it. Just create and find an app that you like, and then try and make it your own. So try and put a different spin on it. See what works. See what doesn't work. Why didn't it work? And basically see it like that. See what you can do.
How did you get in touch with freelance? How did you get in touch freelancing for people who weren't friends or family? So how did you get jobs when you were starting out with people that weren't friends or family?
How did I get started out? So I basically created work for a portfolio that was fake. So for instance, what I'm doing here, this portfolio piece of UX design that's designing my portfolio could be a portfolio piece of work. So I could just put this up online as an image or as a prototype for people to look at. And it's fake, but I'm doing it for fun and to also challenge myself to do stuff like this and also to show you guys. So what I would do if you were just starting out with no client work is build your portfolio with fake briefs. Act like you're working for a real client or ask someone to create a brief for you. That's what I would say. But unfortunately, a lot of designers don't do that now because they think even doing that is just working for free, which is bad.
Yep. Are you reviewing websites?
No. I am making a prototype of one.
What kind of laptop should I look for graphics design?
There's many. I don't think there's one laptop that you could have.
Have you ever used 3D modeling, example Blender, to create assets for graphic design?
No, I've used this like here, like I've just done. I've just done that here. I made this.
Cool. We're up to date. I'll leave you alone.
Cool.
Speedrun.
Those are hard to do because I'm trying to...
I know, but we had a backlog. I try and answer everybody's questions.
So create to inspire 3D. Hang on. 3D imagery, painting, abstract painting, and general artsy stuff. No projects. There we go. So what I'll do is I'll create a bit more space here. Like so. I'm just using a very general grid here. So the way that I'm actually laying this out is so generic, but it works. It like actually works the best. Hang on a sec. Get rid of that. Lock that into the background. So if anyone doesn't know, the layout that I'm using is a grid, which I just click here. Might be difficult to see. It looks like this. It's just a 12 by 12 grid across the board. And it helps me just like lay everything out so well and easy. Very basic grids, but you've got to use them. So I've got some space down here where I can add something. I don't know what to add. I think I'll add... I've got an idea. So what I'll do, I'll just move this to here. Hang on, we'll need to do this for a second. Move this down. And then move this to the right for a second. Put a guide there. Put this back in its intended spot. Get rid of that. So we're just extending the eyeball for a scroll. Because then I'm going to go ahead and shove my work. I think I've got it on my phone. From recently. Yeah. I think Naomi's yawning.
I'm not yawning, I'm sighing because you've got so many questions, but you're never going to get it done.
It's all right.
Are you sure?
Yeah. I mean,
was just like,
if we
right,
answer your
I'm
questions,
afraid.
please subscribe.
I'm really sorry, guys. I don't want to end up being a Q&A. Right, I'll go back up to where I left off. Do you think graphic designers should have a niche, or can we show that we're multi-talented?
Yeah, I think you can have a niche. I think niching in design is the only way really to be known. Anyone else who hasn't niched is because they're very much in an agency, so they teach agency things. People don't get that though. It's hard to explain. So just in case anyone doesn't know what I'm doing, I need to create make this a bit lighter, I think.
Let me know when you're ready for more, because I don't want to spam you.
That's fine. Basically, if you're niching is a surefire method to get work, because you are specializing in something. People know me as a logo designer. They don't particularly know me as like a portfolio designer or a UX designer, should I say. So I would always suggest, sorry, I'm trying to answer the questions at the same time.
You're just so sweet because you just want to give as much information as you can to a one sentence question, but you've got to niche it down and just give an answer.
Yeah. So basically, I'm screwing this up now because it's hard. I need to concentrate. No, I need to concentrate. That's the problem. Oh, well, it's fine. I'll just use this. Niche down. So then you are specializing in a core subject or a core attribute of design, such as logo design, hand lettering, or whatever. That one means that people know you as that kind of designer. It rids the competition. You don't have as much competition. And it also means that you can spend more time focusing on that one level of design. And also it's more fun to the designer. Graphic design should never not be niched. Like the only time I wouldn't expand out is if I had help. So if I had like an agency of numerous people working on a project with me doing, the web development or the website, or the logo or the packaging. I'm a logo designer. I'm not a packaging designer. So I'm not going to go ahead and charge a lot for a packaging, but I could charge a client for that when I have someone here doing it for me to give to them. So niching down as a freelancer, just as a self-employed designer, is a great way of making sure that you're getting that job. So then if I got the logo design job, you guys could get the other jobs that I can't do as well as you, because you niche down in, I don't know, maybe making typography fonts, or maybe, packaging design. I don't know, anything like that. Book covers.
I suppose it spans different careers as well. Like you could be an amazing chef, like a wonderful chef, but your niche really is patisserie, or do you know what I mean? That is your niche. So yes, you can cook, but you can also, where you really shine is in the baking side of the bakery stuff. I think it's sort of you might be a doctor or a GP, but your niche is in pediatrics or something like that.
Yeah, I agree.
Have good skills, but also if you're really, really good at something, get even better at it, because why not?
That's the way it works, isn't it? So what I'm doing here is I'm just changing a certain part. It's hard for people to see unless you're on a computer. So what I would then do is here.
Ooh, that's interesting. What do you expect the design trends are going to be in 2021?
Well, I've got a video that I need to put out of that actually, because it's December, isn't it?
You normally do your end of year, start of January.
So at the minute, it just seems like the creative industry has been stifled. But a big one will probably be clean. So it'll be very much monochrome again, but not as in tonality monochrome with different colors. So it could be hard to explain, but just clean white. So kind of this background here. If I just had white on this background, then that would be the clean aesthetic that people will be going for that. That's one of them I know. I also think
I was just going to jump in there and say a lot of designs this year have taken to information sharing because information has to be shared. So a lot of the designs you'll have been seeing from whether that be like the health departments in where you live or the NHS or stuff, a lot of design has turned rather than aesthetics to functionality. So that's blocky colours or minimal, like you said, for information sharing as its main priority. That's a lot of what we're seeing.
Yeah, I agree.
I think it'll continue into next year.
Yeah, I think, information sharing is a huge one just because of the virus that's happening at the minute and, you know, the need to... Hang on a sec.
Do you think minimalism will go out of style this next decade?
Minimalism will never go out of style. It's never been out of style.
I think it's here to stay. The 80s was very busy, like very patterned, and that's gone.
No, the 80s was like just as minimal but
No.
in different areas. Everyone's doing minimal now because it's cheaper.
Wallpaper in the 80s.
That's not graphic design.
Curtains,
That's not graphic
carpets.
design.
No, I'm talking about generally.
Oh, we're talking about graphic design.
I'm talking about minimalism in general going out of style.
No, I think minimalism, structurally, minimalism is cheaper, it's more efficient, and I would say people enjoy it more. It fits with the brain. It's like feng shui, isn't it? Mm-hmm. So it like fits with the brain. Having a minimal setup, you know, where you're not cluttered by a lot of like different information and different things, you know. Design in itself is minimal. Like that's what we are all trying to do because we're trying to give the information in an aesthetically pleasing way that is effective. So design itself has to be minimal, but it depends how minimal. You can be super minimal, like Apple, who aren't really super minimal anymore. They used to be. Not anymore though. Or whatever. What's up?
I'm just going to have a quick coffee break. I'll be back in 2 minutes.
That's fine.
If you want to mute me.
Yep. Cool. Naomi's off to get a drink of coffee whilst I'm working out what I'm doing here. So let me just show you this for a sec. So. There we go. Having a drink. Turning on my laptop. So. I'm struggling to create something here. I know I want something here. There's a space down here, and I know I don't need to have something there, but I need some suggestions, I think. Because what I'm trying to do is create this idea that when they scroll down this page, they'll see more of my personal projects rather than my work-related ones. So, can anyone help me learn Adobe XD from start to end, please? Just look at YouTube, dude. You'll be okay. You'll be okay. Look at YouTube. How do you get your design developed? You can go to a developer. So my idea is that as I scroll down, I want to get rid of this like harsh line. We'll do that later though. So here's like, I followed this tutorial online to get this. Basically it was creating like this abstract piece of work in Dimension. And it's a really cool way of just like, you know, just shoving shapes down and having something cool and abstract. It looks real though, that's the crazy thing. Like on my screen anyway. On yours it kind of looks a bit blown out if you're watching this. So I'm trying to like show all my work in full screen as we come down. So I want to show like the full work and then something alongside it. So I might even flip this. I want to change that 3D to 3D. Oh yeah, I do. Cheers, thank you. Thank you for letting me know. Missed off the cap. There we go. That should change. Let's do this over here. 3D. 3F. That's crazy. That'd be crazy. Okay. So other things I've got in here. So I'll just work it out as I go, actually. I think that would be the best way of doing it. Create another guide, bring that down here. Get rid of that. Push that to the back. To be more like this. I don't want the top of it cut off. We're going to have to work this one out, guys. It's going to be fun though, don't worry. And then down here, I've got like paintings that I've done. that I want to get in here. I'm not too sure the fidelity of the paintings though. Might have to switch this around. So this is like something I did years ago. Push this to the background. So I'm going to have to try and come up with a way of gradienting this down. When is the right time to create a portfolio? Because I only have three design or maybe less. Just put your designs on there. Just do it. You don't need to have a portfolio jam-packed. You just need to have work that you like. So this area here of what I'm working on today is just stuff that I like. Down here with this is like client project work or just some of them. I need to update it actually. So I'm going to have like an area up here of like creating to inspire, which is like what I want it to be about. Move this down a little bit there. And what this will be about is basically my stuff, what I like. And it's hard to concentrate, but we'll do it. So we could maybe just skip this down to here. I want to explore all options here. And then we're going to preview this board. We could do a 3D transform. No. So I'm just eyeballing this, making sure I get what I want. So this is basically the sketching of something on XD. If I wanted to do something a bit different, I would always start off with a sketch, and this is all it is. I'm not really caring too much about the little things like, you know, these hard edges here coming down. I'm wanting to create something just like an experience for now, and we can work it out later. He does have a very much does have a design style. I would also like Brandon Grace as a great channel for learning. He relocates a lot of mobile and web designs. Cool. The program that's cool is that XD. It is XD. It is XD. So let me just walk through what we've already got, and this will probably give me some more inspiration as we go. We've got this. So let me bring this over here for you. So as we go down, we can see my work. Go to about. It's going to go more to what I've got, my Instagram stuff, and this you can like scroll through this. We created this last time, sort of scroll feature. I'm going to have to add stuff in there and get rid of some of these things in the back. I don't like that. Let me get rid of that. Put that there, and there's too many. It's way too many. So move that like that. I might even like decrease that opacity there as well. What are they on? 27 opacity. Move this. Put this to 27 as well. So now I'm just seeing the actual fundamentals of how this would look. There's a lot going on. This silly line at the back needs to go as well. We can maybe round this off over here. Let's have a look at this one. So view work, this will scroll all the way down. When we're on here, that should pop up. Learn in Iceland, very good. I wanted to put like my other things like my video into there, which we could do as well. If I go to the 3D part, it will just take, I need to change that. So if I go to this, zoom in. This line I want to go ahead and do. I wonder what happens if I do auto animate. He's in and out. That's not too bad. Maybe it looks a bit strange. What I might do as well, actually, I've just had an idea. So because this is a scrolling page, this one here specifically, so when they go to the 3D work, they scroll down. I've probably got to tell them to scroll down here or have like some sort of icon to get them to scroll down. Otherwise, they'll be like, what's going on? So I might make a little button so they know to scroll down. And then over here on this one, I could talk a bit about it. So what if I just had body text? So let me just select the page and get my layout on. So what if I got my character styles up? No, that's not going to work, is it? Yeah, let's use this one. Maybe even this one. So with this, I could go. Let's just do a lorem ipsum for now, actually. Let's fill this. I'm in my creative element right now. Okay, I can move this up to the top here. Naomi is back, I believe.
I have returned.
Naomi has returned.
How did you get on with the questions?
You're very quiet again.
Sorry.
There you go. Say again.
How did you get on with the questions?
I didn't answer any, I don't think. I just started doing my stuff.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, it's fine.
'Cause
It's fine. If you've written a question, just send it again now and I'll read it.
55 is too much. 50. Okay, so what do I want to write here? I think this image here, I'm going to have to take it to Photoshop, actually. Let's do that first of all.
Yes, you can take part in the iPad giveaway. Absolutely. Anybody can take part. It doesn't matter where you are. We will ship to anywhere in the world. Just follow the information on the video. It's in the description. Make sure you subscribe so that you get notified who the winner is, which will be in a live stream coming out. So you want the notifications on, so you're there for that. And I think that's it. And we don't charge shipping. That's another one I get a lot. Anybody can take part.
We do not charge shipping, so don't freak.
It's a competition for everybody.
Okay, let me bring this back over. There we go. So with this, I want to bring it to a lighter color. So we're just going to quickly.
Doctor Who's being an absolute boy. Like
What's he doing?
He's just being brilliant. He is amazing. GG, Doctor Who.
Is he slaying
helpful.
people?
He's got all the links. He's just mint. Well done.
Nice one. Thank you so much, Doctor Who. You're an absolute lifesaver. So what I'm doing is I'm just increasing the brightness here. Let's put this in my documents folder. Let's call it XD Live.
How about using the Creating to Inspire font as a bold text which blends the scrolling of the two images? Do you want me to read it again?
Yes.
How about using the Create to Inspire font as a bold text which blends the scrolling of the two images?
I don't think it will, because there's a line there. So if I'm understanding correctly, I don't think it will in the way that you're suggesting.
Don't worry about it then.
Yeah.
How did you make the animation that you've created? Joined a little late, so I didn't see it.
Which animation?
Do tell, which animation? Trying to see if I can find any of the other questions that I missed. How do you publish your website from XD?
How? Hang on. So it's not like a website builder that you think. It's more of a, so this is like, as I've said before, don't get annoyed, people, but I'm going to repeat it. It's basically a way of prototyping a website. So when I'm here and I do this, this is all you get. So this will tell the developer and give the developer the feel of how the website is. Or if you were designing an app, it would give someone a prototype of how an app is, like how it's used. But this does not, you can't just press a button and publish it. You have to send this to a developer. If that makes sense.
Legends of the Rift says, will you make a competition for logo design in the channel in the future? It would be great, and it would be really nice to try and be part of it. So will you be doing any logo design competitions coming up? Probably,
yes.
It would probably be in the new year, I would imagine now. I don't think we'll have anything before Christmas because it's going to get busy.
Yeah, so I would like to have more competitions, but they're very hard to organise. The problem I have
they are a lot of work
with them is that when it's just generally with the tech behind it, it's just me. So there's a lot of client work I've got to do, a lot of video work. Yeah, we've got a video editor, but we don't want to bring him into doing that because then that wouldn't make sense. And the problem is I need to have the control and being able to do it. So soon, I hope, but I'm not holding my breath. The Come Design With Me is coming soon, but
we'll let you know.
We'll let you know once we've got that.
Panda says, will the portfolio be available in Discord to study, like what kind of fonts and font size, etc. that you used? You think you'll be able to pop that on?
Yeah, I can put some. So what I'll do is I'll share the link with all the assets at the end, so you can use all the assets. If that makes sense, so you can like see exactly how I've done it. So I'll send it to you as a developer.
Good plan.
There we go. So what I'm going to do here is create a gradient. So this is a little cheeky way of me creating a gradient from one end to the other. This end, we don't want anything, but the gradient, if it'll work, I hope this works. Like so. I wish you would stop doing that though. That's the only thing about this. The gradients could work so much better in XD to do this sort of stuff, because then you wouldn't have to bring it into Photoshop and all of that. So I'm trying to create a white border here. So let's just lock that back into place. Yeah, this isn't like the best gradient fill, is it? I've done it before where it looks like proper beast.
Did you feel the floor move just then?
No? How odd. That'd be crazy if we're having an earthquake.
I just felt the floor move.
Again?
No, before.
That's crazy. So what I've done there is I've taken the image and we can again have, so I'm just eyeballing this. We can like sketch this out. So I know the content that I need. So in order to make this functionally work.
We do have a pet and he's a cat and he's black and he's called Spooky and he's a demon, but we love him.
He's a good boy.
He's a good boy. But he's also awful. Screams early in the morning. Just stands outside the door screeching.
So here, dash dash dash. Can create this there. Boom. Okay, it might be a bit too much.
Michael asks, I'm looking at changing careers from live events and live streaming to graphic design and video. Any words of wisdom or top tips? I'm already working with Adobe daily.
So you're moving from
live stuff to graphic design and video.
Just keep working on it, I would say. I think the biggest misconception is that, there's this one tip that I can give you, but all it really is just showing up every day and doing what you do. So for instance, with me, showing up and doing stuff on here with you guys as part of it, recording videos. If you want to be like someone who edits videos and stuff, always make sure that you have a nice cinematic sequence, or a show reel to give to people if you want to be hired. But mainly it's about sticking true to what you do, showing up every day, creating stuff that people find value for, like this. So I'm hoping you guys find this valuable either because of entertainment or because you enjoy it. Like you enjoy seeing it and you find out something about it. For anyone who's new to the channel as well, hello. Just to say hello to everyone, because we've got a few people coming in and saying hello.
Yeah.
It's nice to see you.
It's nice. Lawrence says, are you still using the same software you started with in the industry?
Yes.
A lot of it, yeah.
Yeah, because it's not about the software isn't the biggest thing. Like you can have like Illustrator or like Affinity Designer or Vectornator. They all do the same thing. I've used them all. I use it like Illustrator because that's the one that I'm most comfortable in. But do I ever get scared when I use Vectornator or Affinity Designer? Not really, unless it's for a very specific task that I know I can do easily in Illustrator or one of the apps. So if I was to use Affinity Designer, that's good for nearly everything. But I don't feel like I'm as fast or as comfortable in there. But I do know you can do anything really, aside from have some of the extensions, in Affinity Designer and in Illustrator. So it's not really about the tools that you use, it's about how you use them. 99% of design is understanding the theory of it and then being able to use that tool to put that theory to work, if that makes sense. I could do this on paper. In fact, I do things on paper a lot. I get my iPad out and I start mocking stuff up. So for instance, I've got a presentation. I can show you here a presentation, which I will do in a second. It will pop up on my laptop. But the idea of this is I will create stuff on paper, like compositions and layouts, and then bring it to my computer. So I'll just show you here. It should work. So here, 3 rules for typography design, and with this I've created like a few slides, but all of this was done in paper first, and then like all the wireframing basically, then I take it to the computer. So it's not really about the software, and that's just Keynote. You can design some great stuff in Keynote. Is one of my favorite pastimes. So these are just like, I'm just starting to fill in information, give myself ideas. Again, a lot of people would freak out. I've even spoken to some creatives here who would freak out at showing their live process and things because it looks messy from the start. But like the biggest lie you can have is thinking that, when I'm doing this, that it's always going to go to plan or it always looks good, because that's never the case. There'll always be something wrong and goes wrong. Any questions, Naomi?
We're generally talking about spooky at the minute.
Spooky. Here's a good one.
Will the video still be online after the live stream? Yes, it always is. Goes to the channel. How good were your designs when you started out?
Not very good. Just like anyone.
They are really sweet though.
They are sweet. There's a video of me, if you search on my channel.
It's when you hit 100k, wasn't it, that we made that video?
Yeah, when I hit 100,000 subscribers, I showed the video of me reacting to my old work. And, you know, I'm not ashamed of it because, like, anyone who pokes fun at me for that is a bad designer.
No, it's not about that.
It's not about that.
It's funny. It is funny.
It is funny, but the thing is, when I remember some of the comments on the video, like people were unsubscribing. So most people found it fun and like hilarious how you could get from like that level of like badness in design to, you know, where I got to. And even then, if I reacted to the work I was doing when I was reacting to that video, then that might be a cool video actually. Reacting to the work of when I hit 100,000, it would be so different. I would know 10 times more information and I'd have 10 times more experience from there, you know. So your work's always changing and it's cool to actually look back at your old work as well. But yeah, I got annoyed at people pointing out that it was bad. And of course it was bad. This is work from when I first started. Like I barely knew anything. I had to like spend time reading books and...
So that's why when you say just start, it's because it literally is just start.
Yeah,
Get
literally.
The ball rolling.
Don't stop. That's the problem is with a lot of people. And I think the thing that makes me different, like, and this isn't me like blowing my own trumpet. This is just something that it's a general observation. The thing that makes me different is the fact that I wasn't afraid to start doing it. So I'm not really afraid to fail in things. And I've even become more, you know, sound with the idea of failing live on camera to like a few hundred people watching. You know, a lot of people will say, no, you know, my reputation in design is on the line.
Yeah.
But it's not the case because you can fail and create things online and you
Brandon's
learn
just
from
said
it.
It's all part of the learning process. Like nobody should be judging that. And I totally agree.
Yeah.
Totally agree.
So everyone learns. Because any designer that you see online that you're influenced by or are inspired by started somewhere as well. And they were not always good. And if they're afraid to show you their work, it says a lot about them. But gladly enough, a lot of them aren't afraid because they understand. They've got the same ideas.
It is brave.
It is
Elliot
brave.
says, how do you balance making... How do you balance both working a design job and making content for YouTube? Did you have any previous experience with video? And what would you suggest to someone starting out?
No, so the way it started for me was... Sorry, I thought I heard the Halo theme tune coming in. I was like, no, what the heck's going on? The way that it started for me, again, I just started doing design work. I knew that social media was a tool that no one was really tapping into. And back then, there was only like me and Roberto Blake. And I think Howard Pinsky, who works for Adobe now. And there were so many questions on Google, like, of how to design stuff. And when I started like learning, I was using Google, I was using video courses, I was reading books. Like I couldn't read very well, but I was reading them, checking out magazines, deconstructing people's work. And I found that was a great way for me to learn how it worked, which is really it's like giving someone a radio, telling them to read about the radio to find out the inner workings of it, or telling them to break it apart and put it back together again to work out how it works. So what I was doing was I was breaking apart things, putting it back together again, using the same ideas in my work. Now, when I started YouTube, it's because I was understanding that, you know, if I gave people value of this, they're going to follow me. But also it's a good way of marketing myself. So I thought, you know, I'm going to start making video tutorials of things I learned. So I would learn to do a certain effect in Illustrator or Photoshop. And I would look online and think, no one's actually put this out online. So I would, you know, create the video, put it out, people would watch it, people would follow me. And then from there, it sort of went on to grow where I am now. Video experience, I never really got video experience from anywhere else. And I never had a design job. I was always freelance until I became a creative director of the agency that we own now. So it really became... I learned video out of necessity, but I always enjoyed it. So that's how I learned how to edit video. And nowadays we've got Jordan who edits most of our videos, and I do most of the design.
What I love is so when you started out, so Will started out like September 2012.
Yeah, something like that.
Well, that's when you sort of set up your YouTube channel. As soon as he learnt something, he would make a video about it so he could help other people learn it too and make it more accessible. Like the whole reason the channel sort of started out was out of sort of making tutorials and trying to help people. Like that's always been the purpose of the channel. It's not necessarily when we started it up, we didn't think, oh, this is a grand marketing tool. We thought, well, Will thought, should I say, you thought, this could really help somebody that wants to learn how to do this too. And I love the fact that 8 years on, we're sat here now and we're still helping people, answering your questions, showing you something interesting, for free. And that we get to do that as part of our job. We get to give back to people like you guys in the community, the creative community. And yeah, I really love that part of our work, that it's not just about us, that we can give back. It makes me happy.
It makes me happy as well. Just like, I think for anyone out there, be warned, there are people like who literally teach on Instagram now for the sake of just gaining a following. They teach stuff that's regurgitated from other people, and they've got followers now, but they will not last. You've got the dedicated people like you've got Christo who teaches like sound design principles, but then business practices as well, which are good, and you should listen to these business practices because he's
trust who you listen to. Yeah,
that's it. You've got to trust who you listen to. But the thing is, you'll find a lot of people who'll take that and do it themselves, and they've never had a design job in their life.
It's true.
And you might see them get a following and think that's going to last them. But there's one thing gaining a following, and then there's one thing maintaining it. Because people come and go all the time. The same people
doesn't always put bread on the table.
That's it. Yeah, basically, you can have like this many subscribers that I've got, but only a few people watch a video, and that's cool because my videos are very diverse in like sections of design. Some people just like the logo stuff. Some people like this stuff. You guys who are watching today are probably watching because you like portfolio stuff and you want to like do better in your portfolio. So, be warned not to just teach for the sake of teaching. Teach your experience. Tell people what you know about what you do and things that will help other people. For instance, I created one about imposter syndrome. That was fun. People enjoyed that.
We totally missed a trick though, not putting, I love it, Among Us. Putting a little Among Us imposter on there.
I thought afterwards that would be hilarious.
That would have been
unfortunately, it went out already.
We missed a trick on that one.
But yeah, so that one, I'll probably pull it up for you guys actually.
I'm really glad you find it useful. Like I said, we do this because we really like you guys and we want to help. That's all it boils down to. So I'm really glad it helps people. That's why we do it.
I'm glad we do it. Oh, is Instagram going to do this to me? I'm not wanting to sign in, but basically if you find this post down here, so how imposter syndrome will affect your work, this one here is teaching easily. You okay?
I'm just flexing my hand because it's gone numb.
Oh dear, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
This will teach you how imposter syndrome will affect your work and how to get rid of it. Stuff like that no one really talked about on Instagram. That's not a bad thing. That's not me stealing someone else's ideas and stuff. But if you've got an experienced teacher on it, tell them what it was, the story behind it, how you got through it, and how that, what you learnt. So what was easier about it, or how someone else can get through it knowing what you know. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So here, I'm just going to put some more information there as well. Get that to the front. Where did it go? There we go. So what I'm trying to work on now is getting this all nicely done there. How long have we been streaming for? Let's have a look. YouTube doesn't want to tell me. Check your Reddit. I will do. We're doing a Reddit video. Don't worry. I wanted to have enough on there for people to do it. If you guys don't know, we have a subreddit where you can post your designs. I might have a little thing here just to say scroll down.
Gary's just said there, so he says, I love that part of your work. As a gamer and as a musician, even though I do nothing with creative graphics, it inspires in more ways than you know. Creativity inspires creativity, and it's so true. It's so true. Like we have people who message, they've seen Will's post on Instagram and they've recreated it or put their own spin on it, and it's amazing. Like people starting out to, people that have got loads of experience that just want to try something new, and it's great. If it makes more people want to give it a go and get experience, go for it. Go for it.
I would say so also. Sorry, I concur.
I concur. So we're just over an hour and a half in now.
Cool. So I'm creating a little button here, but I'm not sure how I should do it. I don't want to just have another button though. That's boring.
A button?
What I might do something different. Let's go to my icons. Where is it? Type an arrow, making sure you guys can see what I'm doing. Okay. We'll create this color here.
How did you decide the font size?
So, font size, difficult one.
I suppose it depends how big the screen's going to be, I guess. If it's going to be on web or whether it's...
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's something that you learn at the beginning of design. Font size, for instance here, what's this? Like 18. If I put that down to 12, that's a bit too low. 14. Yeah, so 14 and 18, it depends really. So when you're designing something for print, it's about 14 to 18 points for like body text. So you've got body text, title, title 2, title 3, subtitle, all of those different things. And generally, you want to use the same like sizes all the way throughout, so it has like that element of, it looks the same throughout your website. So it looks clean and everything's been nulled correctly. So everything's organized and grouped into little areas. I think to find out the font size is to stick with a certain rule in your mind, which body font size on a natural computer now, so like a normal computer, is between 14 and 18. So type in 14 and 18, and then what you do to create the title is basically just make it big, and you can do whatever you want. But that's the limit. You can have your body type larger than that, but don't go any smaller than that unless it's like here. And even here, I could go down to 14 to create more contrast, but I don't want people squinting. So you're always playing this sort of dance to make sure it's readable, easily viewed, and it fits within the rule of thirds, which is what I've done here. So you've got this side here, it kind of looks like it's been split in half, but this side here has got the illustration, which, to be fair, I want to actually move this, so I want to bring it up a slight bit. Bring this down over here. So this side is like, if you imagine this was cut into thirds, I'll just do this on the actual layout bit. So this is like in the rule of thirds. So you've got third in the middle, and a third over here. This third is for this stuff. The third in the middle is basically got the overlap between them, and the third over here is for this stuff. So when you use the rule of thirds or do things in thirds, it makes it easier on the eye, so it has columns and it has a natural flow. So typography, and I'll say this because that presentation that I just showed you about the 3 rules for type, and then also, the 3 profound methods that actually work to improve your type skills. It's all about understanding type. If you don't understand type, you're not a good designer, basically. That's not me being nasty. It's just, it means that it's something you need to work on. The first thing you'll learn. So, and my problem is here, is trying to work out what to do.
So, a couple of quick questions. Is Will doing UX UI design right now? Bleh, bleh, bleh. Work right now?
Yes.
Yes. Is sharing your XD link appropriate for showing your portfolio?
Yeah. I guess so.
Will you wear an all green outfit and say green is not a creative colour?
No, because it is.
Do you still sketch on paper or will you work digitally from the start?
I sketch on paper. Well, I mean, it's all digital.
This, though.
You can do for this. If it was a client project, then certainly, yeah.
Does this portfolio need to be hosted on a domain, and how is it viewed from anyone around the world?
So, I see what the guy was saying. Yeah, no, you need to get this developed. If you want it to be a portfolio for your website, if you want it just to be an interactive presentation, you can do that. But the way that I've done this is that if you're doing this as an interactive presentation, so when you clicked here and people could click on different things, that's good. But you don't want to do it like a website. I'm creating it like a website, so it's native to a website. If you're doing it as a presentation, you've got so many things that you could do differently with it to make it better, if that makes sense. What was the question for that last one, though? Sorry.
Which one?
That last question.
Oh, gosh, I can't remember.
It's all right, don't worry.
If it was you, just send it again. What is your best advice on how to increase design skills if we're still new and have no project to do, especially in logo design? I think we answer this like several times every live stream. Make a fake company and pull up a brief for it, or find one online and practice. Like, that is the best thing you can do to increase your design skills, is practice. Like 100%, especially if you've got no projects on, like you said, practice. Make a fake brief, decide on a company, watch some of Will, like you can find briefs in some of Will's old videos for like Payzeal, Mindscape, come up with your own concepts, give it a go. Dylan says, it's also good to create a style guide with your H1, H2, H3, etc. and body copy to keep everything consistent on your website. It also helps if you're passing it off to a developer.
Yeah, that's it. So a style guide is like a brand guidelines. Those are really cool to make as well. I've watched people do that a lot. Obviously here, I would do that. It's good to do that at the start, once you've done your wireframes and you've got this idea, but really you should do it at the end, because there's going to be times that I'm looking through this and having to change a certain element. And if I have to change the element, I don't want to have to go and change the style guide as well. Instead, I will complete the website, and if it looks well, like good, using the system that I've already got in my components over here with my character styles, colors, and all my components, then I'll put that into a style guide for the developer. It really depends on who it's for. If it's for you, then just use components over here, so the character styles, colors, and everything else. If it's for the developer, have something blatantly obvious so they know. But yeah, good shout. That's a really good shout.
Philbert says, is it cheating if I use color.adobe for the color theme or something? I don't know what color.adobe means, or if that's a typo.
Say that again.
I don't know if is it cheating if I use color.adobe for color theme or something. So what, like pre-made color palettes? Maybe they mean? I don't know.
Is it cheating?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. You can use pre-made color palettes. No one owns colors. You can even take font pairings. As long as you're not outright plagiarizing something, you're fine. So here I've created this little button that animates in and out. Let me just so when you hover over it, it'll animate up a bit, and it'll just generally look a bit cooler. So it knows that you're hovering. And then what I can do is I can get this to scroll down to here. So hopefully, there you go. Then I will just do ease in, out, offset, looks good, that looks good. So for anyone who didn't see that, basically what I did is I created two states. So if I made it into a component and I created another state, which I changed some of the attributes. I then went into the prototyping section of that. And here I created, let's have a look. auto animate hover state, ease it in and out, and then when you click it, it comes down here and it's offset. So there you go. What I can do is I can actually do this a couple of times, and here I can actually just spin this back up. Instead of having that, I can move this.
Elliot says, what type of clients do you mainly work with, and how has it changed before and after lockdown? Is there a difference in types of clients? So I organise the clients for Will. So people come to me if they want some work done, and I chat with them and I organise it. At the start of this whole situation, we had people drop out. We did have people say, "I'm really sorry, everything's too up in the air. I'm gonna have to hold."
A famous basketball player too.
Yeah. There was quite a lot of people that we sort of had lined up that then fell through, but new things sort of arose from that. So we actually had some, really cool projects that we wouldn't have got on, like the Adobe, Honor Heroes campaign.
That was fun.
Stuff like that. So new opportunities did come around from it. So I don't think the types of clients have changed. It was big and small clients that said, "I'm really sorry, we're going to have to hold off until we know what's going to happen with this world."
Which was fine.
Yeah, which is absolutely fine. And what type of clients? It varies so much. We work with tiny bakeries. We work with big conglomerates, whatever the word is. It really varies. Daniel says, sorry if this has already been asked, but what is the best way to pass on the XD file to a developer?
Yeah, we answered it. So basically you go to share. So first of all, go into the design, Command A, select everything, and then press this button over here, mark for export. Now when you go to share, press this button over here called downloadable assets, and then first of all, go to viewing setting, which is development. So share your design or prototype with developers, then press downloadable assets. Now, when they go to this link, it might not allow me to download the new stuff yet because I need to upload it. It will show me, as well as my comments, it will actually show all the assets, and I can click on something and I can download that asset. It will show the code, where it is, like the CSS. They can copy it, see the appearance, see the height and everything. This is why people prototype. So a designer like me who designs websites or prototypes can have someone create it basically the same way. I hope that answered your question.
Yeah.
So now what we've got here is, I think actually over here, steal this. Let me just steal this one, this little lad over here. Spin him around, chuck him up. Just have something there. I might even change his colour. No, because that looks a bit weird, that. I'm not having that. You can copy it, make him larger. And we're just playing around now.
Dun, dun, dun.
Because the cool thing about XD is that I can create this little thing up here to just appear.
Johanna said, I've read that the golden ratio is meh. Can anyone confirm? Will, as a designer.
It's actually 1.618, but...
Will, as a designer, can you confirm whether or not the golden ratio is meh or not?
No, so basically people think that the golden ratio is more than it is. I've explained it to people on the videos before. The golden ratio is 1.618, so it's a lot of people think it's just like, dividing the 1 by the 1 by the 1 by the, and it kind of is and it kind of isn't. You don't need to use it in your design, but it's a great way of keeping proportions looking nice, and it's something that's found in nature. It's what I know as like the balanced formula. So if you want to balance something such as, let me just try it. Can I do it? Let's do a little experiment.
Oh dear, this is why when I get loads of questions, I get backlogged because I ask Will a question like, "Is it meh?" and I'm expecting a no, it's not meh, and then we end up getting a full-on tutorial, guys.
You're gonna get a tutorial, right? So let's go into Illustrator here.
If I miss your question, write it again in a minute.
So if I can remember exactly how to do it, we've got a square. Doesn't matter what size it is. So what I can do, let me just put smart guides on, make this easier. Let me just work out whether I'm doing this correctly first of all, because it's been such a long time before I've had to use this.
Heaven forbid you do it wrong. She'll never hear the end of it.
True.
We've had that before.
Yeah. There you go. There's an example. There's the golden squares, basically. Then if we want to do the golden ratio, this is where it can get interesting. So if I had a circle, let's do it with squares again, actually. So I can copy and paste this, and then I can go up here and go times, so that's the asterisk, 1.618, out, copy and paste, times 1.618. Now, these are following the golden ratio. So you've got that. So that's the golden ratio there with the squares. That's the golden squares, which people get confused by, but it's basically the same thing. It's just about proportions, really. It's keeping the proportions. Now, if I had like, for instance, like a logo where I had to use a lot of circles and the shape builder tool, such as if I wanted to create like a version of Target, I can use this method by copying and pasting in front and going up here times 1.618. And then I can do that again, copy and paste. It's probably an easy way of doing it actually, but I've never done it that way. I can like scale these down, it doesn't particularly matter. Repeat the process, just timesing it times 1.618. Now, if I was to have a logo design and I have a selection of circles that I can now use, I can pull them out to create. These will all be like the curves that you're using will all be in tune with the golden ratio within a proportion. So it's the proportion of the circles that you're using to create something. So you can create like a cloud using the same method. See if we can make a cloud. Then we can take this one actually and then divide it 1.618 to create a smaller one. Over here. And I'm not doing this justice because I'm not making a good cloud here. But you can like make a speech bubble formed within the circles of it. Now the other way of doing this, I'm probably not doing this justice in this video, but the other way of doing it is actually forming it inside of here, basically. So I can go ahead and create this and I can keep going like, hang on.
Just something to note as well while you're doing that, like we get people email quite a lot looking for a golden ratio logo. Fibonacci sequence golden ratio, it's not a one size fits all. It doesn't make a bad logo good. It's not a cure all. It's a wonderful design principle to know about and be aware of and have a go with. And if it works, it works. But people email me saying, "Can I have a golden ratio logo?" I said, "Well, you can have a logo. We can certainly work on that. And if it makes sense and if it's functional and it works, then fine. But you can't always go into designing a logo with that in mind because it's not, like I say, it's not a cure-all. It doesn't make bad designs good.
There's so many different ways of doing it. There's so many different ways. Let me try this. See, it's been such a long time since I've done it. I'm going to use my thinking brain for a second. It'll start looking more like it, so I'm doing it this way, which is the most popular way. Hang on, I screwed that up. Copy and paste that one. I'm just making this. You can see it. It looks like it because this is the proportion.
I love that this has all come out of golden ratio, yeah or nah.
I'm going to show you how to create it. You'll find the golden ratio in everything, from your human face to any sort of design that you're looking at with good proportions. The grid systems work, the rule of thirds work on this sort of level as well. It's quite similar. But technically, I can keep going with this. I don't know if I did that one right, but... And it will keep going and matching within the golden ratio. I can like join them all together, and it, hilariously, it will probably fit. Well, it should fit technically. If I just hold shift. Or if I just do it to these circles here. If I had another circle or square in there, that was like 1.6 down. But the idea is that it will fit. So like if you had a piece of paper like this, if this is A4 and you wanted to do the golden ratio in it, you could fit it along like that. Not like that, sorry. You could fit the design to be there. So you've got like guidelines. I'm going to regret doing this because people will be like, you're doing it wrong.
Oh yeah, you've had a few.
So now you've got like certain guides in there that you can use to use it. You've got all this space that you can use. I made a logo out of the golden ratio as well, which I will find. I will show you, which is an easy way because this is interesting for some people. Let me search for it.
Fab says it looks like an ear.
Oh yeah, basically.
Ears are probably golden ratios.
Most likely.
Ears. I don't know. My brain's starting to melt. Sorry, guys.
Let me just find out. Aha. Caught you. Got it. Right. Okay, here we go. So I made this logo a while ago for it's like a PR company, or HR company, sorry. And this is, they wanted like a castle. And I wanted like an H, you know, in like the shape. And you can see here, this is like the thing I made for it, which is the golden ratio right there.
That was a fun project, actually.
It was. And I made it to fit the golden ratio perfectly. Just for proportions on the outside and the curves, which I thought was fun. You can see here it matches up with the guidelines, so it works around it. So that was fun. And that's how it looked at the end. That's an old project though. That's like 5 years old. That was fun. So I hope that helped. Basically. Okay. I'm going to show you guys what we've worked on today, and then we're going to go, I think, because it's probably been about 2 hours nearly. We've got a few people watching. Guys, if you're new to the channel as well, please remember to subscribe. I'm going to try my best to do live streaming every week if you just want to be here for the live streams. And also there is a join button as well that you can use as well, which gives you perks to the channel.
And you want to be here for the next live stream because we're going to find out who's won the iPad. If you want to be part of the iPad giveaway, you just need to check out the video and you could win this bad boy.
This could be yours. This exact one. And I've even put a paper like on it for you as well. So you get a free paper like. Yeah.
Anyone can take part. We don't charge shipping. What's the other questions that we get?
Probably a few.
Probably a few, but anybody can take part. Just click on the link in the video description. Make sure you're subscribed and you've got the notifications on, and join us for the next live stream when we will find out who the winner is. And I'm excited for it.
I'm looking forward to it too.
For that.
So here we go. We've got work here, creating to inspire. This is what we've done today. So it links out from, I believe, home. So if we go to 3D here, click it, takes you to here. I'm going to animate this so it like moves up, because I think that would be a cool thing to do. And then when you come down here, got I'm not a pro, but I like creating 3D models because this is about me page basically. So I wanted this part of the portfolio to be all about stuff that I enjoy. So they understand that this is not my professional work, but it's something that I want to show. And I create this little button down here, the layout, painting, yeah, and then back up we go. And that's what we've created. And I hope you guys like it. I'll post the link of this as well.
I hope I've not confused anybody there. So the next live stream will be next week. That will be the iPad giveaway live stream, yes?
Yes.
Next week. Will started his career in 2012, not next week. And what was the other one? Oh yeah, Will isn't choosing the winner, so it's going to be done through a magic computer robot. There you go. You heard it here first, guys. So we won't be choosing a winner because we've had a lot of people say they need it for their dying granddads and stuff, and that would be unfair to put that pressure on Will to do that.
Very.
Now we're back to holy banana water.
And I'm not too sure why everyone's saying entry done reason. I don't know why people are doing that.
It got picked up by a blog and people said this is how you take part, and then you have to write this in the comments. You don't have to write anything in the comments. You don't even need to tell us that you've done it. It's all on the platform. All the information's on the video. Just
have to subscribe, check out my Instagram. That's it really, isn't it? Sorry, I'm just trying to get the link to you guys, but I'm having to go onto my panel on YouTube to do that. To my live chat. There we go. There's a project link for anyone who wants it. But guys, thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy it, please make sure to subscribe. We say this because probably like 50% of you don't subscribe, and that's absolutely fine if you don't want to.
It's so strange though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really strange.
I've been watching YouTubers before and I've not been subscribed, but YouTube still shows me some of their videos, but I miss quite a lot of them because I wasn't subscribed, but I thought I was.
Yeah, that's the problem, yeah. Algorithm, that's the way it works. But if you also want to become a member, thank you to the people who became a member today. Who was it that became a member? Hang on. Who was it?
Rania.
That's it, Rania.
And David did a super chat.
David did a super chat, $20, and Guy did £2 in Gaz Gaming. Thank you very much, guys, for the support. That stuff helps me stream live more because we don't sponsor these streams or anything like that. So thank you. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy it, come back next week for the iPad giveaway video, which will be great fun. All right? Do you want any last words, Naomi, that you want to give to the chat?
My brain is melting.
Naomi's brain is melting. She's doing a good job.
You guys have been very entertaining.
Yeah, thank you so much, guys, for watching. See you guys later. I'll be on the Discord to organise the chat in the next couple of days so we can all get together and chat.
See you in the next video.
See you soon, guys.
Bye.
This is the hour, the darkest place. Dante's Inferno, the devil's maze. It's a good world, good world gone bad. Half the people dying while the rest of us are splitting hairs. It's a good world.